There are moments where we focus on our negative attributes, behaviors, the things that are not working well. And while it can give us insight into the areas that we might want to learn and expand and change, if we look at it constructively, and that can be positive. Very often, when we only focus on those negatives, we could find ourselves in a place where we don't see any good, any skills, any positive attributes. We might see ourselves as being less than everybody else, less experienced, less skilled, less intelligent, less pretty, having less sexy, and less everything. When we find ourselves recognizing the things that we are good at and the things that we are not as good at, and we keep it in balance, then we have a more balanced and realistic view of our abilities, skills. And when we feel optimistic about our endeavors and look at our failures with the ways of what can we learn, what did we learn, and not being stuck on seeing ourselves and like a failure. When we see the balance and we feel optimistic, it is healthier and we feel better. But if we start seeing that everything we do is a failure, that doesn't meet our standards and expectations and those of others, then we can start sliding down to a place where we fail to see any good in ourselves. And then it can get very low and dark, and we might even start feeling hopeless about our ability to cope, to survive. When we are in this type of thinking and behavior, it's good to be reminded that it tends to stem from all or nothing. We are either good, perfect, or we're not. It tends to be from a generalized and we tend to predict that we fail, so we always will fail. And we don't see the middle road, the middle path, the little things that we succeed, that we are good enough. And then we struggle more and unnecessarily. And we can find ourselves going down a spiral road. So it is good to be reminded that we have some skills, we have some abilities that we take it for granted, that others can see, but we struggle to see it. And it's good to be reminded that we don't need to be perfect. we can be good enough. That could be sufficient. Obviously, there are different standards for different things that we might want to try. And when we don't match those standards and something is important to us, we can find ourselves disappointed and sad. But we could just take a rational approach and look at it with a different length and perspective. If I tried differently, if I put some more effort within the effort that allows me to find my balance and still build balance with the essential, is that a chance? If I apply myself, even if I don't get the highest that is expected, is what I'll get out of it still of value and good? So all of those are skills. And we can spend time and effort learning new skills, developing new skills. And we can be patient with ourselves while we learn at the pace that we are able to learn. And being compassionate when we slip and return to old habits. And be compassionate when we don't see it as being possible. And being patient and compassionate when we need to go through that resilience and persistence at times. But these are all skills, and abilities tend to be skills. We might be more natural at certain skills than others, which comes down to our natural personality, our history, our experiences, what we've learned, what we've been exposed to. So no one is the same. And all human beings have abilities and skills in different areas. So it's not just one type of intelligence. There are multiples. It's not just one type of skill. There's a multitude of skills. And unless someone perhaps tell us, or we've worked on ourselves and recognized, if we've only focused on the things that we're not yet good or as good as we want to, and if we have experiences where others judge and criticize and put us down and say that we are not good enough, then we might fail to recognize our strength and skills and abilities and capacity. So you have to work a little extra hard to see that we are able to. Perhaps not every skill is for us. If we wanted to be astronauts, perhaps it's a skill that if we apply we can be, and perhaps it's not. No matter how much we want. And we can make peace with what is totally outside of our scope and ability. But also embrace that many skills we are able to learn and practice at the pace that suits us at any given time. And even though we might not reach the highest marks, if it is a skill that gives us an improvement, then that we're gaining it something out of it, even if it's just a little something that we enjoy, that we want. That step is still worth a lot, and sometimes even more than if we reach the highest marks, because we've given ourselves that opportunity to try, to apply, and then we can see our growth. We can see that improvement, and the journey, the outcome is ours. We can look for others for inspiration, but it is ours. We compare ourselves with theirs today, and of how far we've come. And in life we'll have some regressions, some dips. So not beating ourselves up that we were better or stronger or more able to, and now we're not or might not be able to. We adjust to what is possible in each given moment. And anything that brings a little relief, a little something neutral and positive, it is worth its while. And we're going to adjust the journey and adjust ourselves in a way that we don't just get focused on the final outcome, but that we get to see the good and the value as we go along, and the benefits as we go along, the improvements as we go along, the good feelings as we go along, being flexible and tolerant for mistakes, step backs, mishaps, because we are human beings, and human beings are never perfect. And whenever we think something is perfect, we might want to expand on that perfection. So let's separate our abilities and capacity away from our worth and value. Just because we can't do something doesn't mean that we don't have worth and value. We have worth and value. Just because we are human beings, and all human beings have worth and value, even if they're good or not so good at certain skills and abilities and aptitudes. So, close your eyes for a moment. Make peace with where you are. Notice the breath. Notice the breath coming in and out of the nostrils. Just the body anyway that feels more balanced and comfortable. And allow the breath to flow naturally in and out. Notice if it reaches and expands the belly. without judging or criticizing, simply being curious. Simply notice you have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. Continue to observe the breath. Notice it. Relax further. Relax the toes, the hands. Adjust if you need. Relax the jaw and the teeth, the forehead. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. You can open your eyes if you want to, or keep it closed. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. Bring the hands to the heart. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. Now, I'd like you to place your hands on my hands, even though it's just virtually. Bring them down, relax. I'm holding your hands now. I'm supporting your hands. And all you have to do is to let your hands be supported. That's it. You don't need to do anything other than let your hands rest gently on my hands. So you can have a respite You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. Can I place one hand on your heart? And one hand on your shoulder, so that we can connect, so that I can connect with your heart and support you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. Now, I'd like you to relax the hands. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. You have worth and value in you. And I hope one day you can see it too. Don't beat yourself up. Just our brain, the chat in our mind, experiences from the past. It's all okay. We don't like it, but we learn to make peace with it. We learn to forgive. We learn to accept. We learn to be compassionate and loving. We learn to see the things we're not so good, but also learn to see the things that we are good at. And it doesn't matter. Any baby that comes to this world can't look after themselves, doesn't have any ability or skills, can't even feed themselves, clean, wash. They literally can't. They can't even walk and talk. And they have worth and value. We see their worth and value. Unless we have unhappy experiences as an association with children that perhaps might highlight a hurt or lack or pain. But from a neutral point of view, unless there's hurt and pain associated with children and babies, and loss or lack are not happening, for most of us we can connect with the neutrality of a baby. And if we can't, because we are in a place of struggle and suffering, perhaps we can connect with a plant or a pet, an animal, regardless of the abilities and skills that plants and babies and animals have. When they're born, they all have worth and value. Unless you don't like certain creatures, We have worth and value just because we exist. And what others think and say and what we think and say often is distorted, unfair. So it's nice to have the recognition of others, but a lot of the time we have to do the work ourselves so we can see our worth and value, so that we can support ourselves in those moments of struggle. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. I'm going to smile and let myself and the world see. Yes, well, just trying to think of something that rhymes with me, so you can add anything that rhymes with me if you're into rhyming. Or simply just say, when you're ready, bring the hands to the heart. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. And I don't need the world to recognize and see. That's another variation. Pick your best, your favorite, or make your own. Okay? But simply, I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. Together. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value with me, in me. Together. I have worth and value in me. And again. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. Any way that resonates with you, simplistic, just to encourage. We repeat things in our minds that is not healthy, that is not helpful. Habit, learning. Perhaps we acquire when we are not so rational. But now we can reprogram our minds into different ways of thinking, different ways of looking at things and ourselves so that we can support ourselves. Let's sing together. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. Let's just wait and see. If you want to write, if you don't want to write, just say nothing at the end. Okay. Your space. Together. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. I have worth and value in me. So a little dance. Little me. My tummy is rumbly and is calling me. Get some food. Love from my heart. Big hug. You have worth and value. We have worth and value just because we exist. And this premise extends to all living beings. Everything else is just abilities, skills, behaviors. And we can learn, adjust, and be mindful that depending on the time, history, culture, that our context, that our behaviors that are acceptable, not acceptable, welcome, rejected, criticized. So we all have realities that sometimes complement and sometimes contrast. Sometimes are preferred and sometimes are not. So who's to say which one is better than the other? And there are moments where there is conflicts, and there are moments where our nervous system just simply goes into protection, to fight, flight, freeze mode, and perhaps comes up with certain behaviors that we might not be as proud. But we could get curious, and we can learn, and we can learn to do differently if we want to and need to, and be compassionate and patient as we learn, as we practice, and when we slip and fall. But regardless, but that is just all behaviors. And separating behaviors and our worth, intrinsic worth and value, because we exist. Yes, my abilities and skills might lead me into certain places and do certain things that might give me an outcome that could be neutral, good and positive. But that is just, I could choose different things and have different outcomes. And I might have a preference and choose a particular path. But most things have neutral good and positives, and we get to choose those that are in line, hopefully, with our worth, with our value, with our values, and closer to the person that we want to be and behave, at least most of the time. If we go for all of the time, when we don't reach and match those behaviors, we can feel like a failure. We can feel like we fail and can knock us down. But always remember, our worth and value is separate from if we achieve, succeed, or fail. We still have worth and value. You have worth and value. I have worth and value in me. I have worth, repeat together, and value in me. I have worth and value in me. I just want you and me to see. Now, don't go try to get the approval and others to see, because you'll feel like a yo-yo, up and down, and not everyone will see, and some will judge and criticize. So we want to see that worth and value ourselves. Anybody else, yeah, a bonus, but we're not dependent on it. We're not so hooked on external approval because we approve of ourselves. We know our worth and value. If that brings value and worth to others, others will have their worth and value, but if we bring the benefit to others, good. But we're not dependent on that external approval. Just leave it out. And when we're ready, we can also extend that grace and see the worth and value in others. Because we all have. It's a little harder when we are observing certain behaviors, but distinguishing behaviors from the core, from the human that we are, that connect us, life force, humanity. It's challenging when we are observing others behaving in ways that perhaps does not does not make us feel good and safe. Or I engage in behaviors that does not make us or others feel safe. But and we go at the pace that we are able to comprehend and embrace. But before we take on we don't need to take on the whole world. We can take hold of ourselves and see our worth and value. And when we are solid there, we can start seeing the worth and value in others. Start with the ones that are easy. And then once we've done some work on acceptance and forgiveness, then we can start expanding that to others. It can be a big step at times. But for now, we are choosing to see our worth and value. Because when we see our worth and value, we feel differently and we behave differently. Big. Connected love, heart. Bring your hands and wrap them. Give yourself a stretch and a hug. Connect with the heart. Thank you. You have worth and value in you. I can see it. And I hope in this moment you can see it too. Bye for now. You have worth and value. Remember that. Doesn't matter what you've done or are doing. No human being is perfect. Okay? You're worth and you have worth and value. Bye for now. Behaviors can be learned, adjusted, and changed. And everything takes its natural time. Bye for now.